Friends, very quick one in today. It's a local lad, he just doesn't know how to set his Floyd up properly. His strings keep popping out, and I know why, because he hadn't tightened the end screws up proper on the back of the saddle. So I've already got the guitar ready, almost stripped ready. As soon as we found out what the problem was, I said, I'll stick your new set of strings on and set your Floyd up for you, and that'll be it. He's not having a set up, he's not having anything else, not having frets checked or anything, he's just having a Floyd Rose set up. So a nice, easy, quick one today. He's a local lad. Could be in Ashfield, his name's Rick, and he'll be picking this up later this afternoon, I imagine. So get this strap off, and it being a lefty makes it a bit more awkward but you know, I'm sure we'll get there. And they sent me a set of Ernie Ball Paradigm 1046s, I believe, which will be going on. So what I'm going to do is just remove these bits and bobs. I may as well stick camera on the guitar and you can see what's happening. But yes, I ascertained while he was here that he hadn't tightened his locking things up at the back, so strings were popping out as they would. Unfortunately, I've already got the right Allen keys out for a Floyd Rose. I've been working on one before this guitar. So let's try and put this back in the same order. So we'll place these as they come off, like so. Yeah, so it's basically just going to be a string swap. And set the tremolo up, set the intonation. I will be setting the tremolo up the way I've always set them up. I've been setting these things up, Floyd Roses, since the 80s. Make sure they're all loose. And I do have a way of setting the bridge straight that has caused a few arguments down the line. And that's because I stick a screwdriver under the tremolo, but I don't just stick a screwdriver under the tremolo. I actually take some business cards, fold them in half, like so. So we're not going to mark the wood or the body. And people still complain saying, you shouldn't do that, you're going to mark the body. Absolutely not. And there you go. And all I do is make sure the business card under a screwdriver each side, but not in the way of me setting up the tremolo, like so. And there you go. And now I can get at the whole tremolo, screwdriver there on the business cards, I can get at the whole tremolo. Fantastic. So what I'm going to do is we are going to snip these strings off. I'll find my cutting tool, which is here. Not doing anything else. No fretwork, no setup, no nothing. Just been paid to restring it and set up the tremolo. It's a tremolo setup. I think I charged 25 quid for Floyd Rose anyway. I'd have to go look. I've not put prices up for years, so I'll have to go and check, won't I? All strings out of the way. Pretty good. Wrap these up and get them in the bin. So yes, Floyd Rose tremolo setting up. So what you want is you need to block off the tremolo like I've done there. I might even turn the guitar round so you can get a closer view. This is how I set it up. If people want to come and whine about me putting that screwdriver under there with two business cards underneath, tell you what now, forget it. Because I won't entertain it. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's have a look. It means I will be setting it up the wrong way round. Can I do that? If not me, who else? So let's have a look, see if we can do it this way. Right, so I'll be working backwards. I'll be working against myself. It's not necessarily a bad thing. So it wasn't tightening these up enough, so the strings were popping out. I'm just going to get these strings out of these ones, and we're going to bang some of these strings on. I might just get my good set of Allen keys out because some of these are a little bit not brilliant. That's that one. Make sure we're all loose. That one's not loose. I did suggest to him for popping out that he maybe has not tightened these up or got these saddle blocks in properly. Maybe they weren't square. It wasn't that, it just wasn't tightening up enough. That one seems like it's got a problem to me. It doesn't seem good at all. Never been happy with this one. It's taken a long time to get loose, and that is not right. That's cross-threaded, I think. Not good at all. Let's get it out and have a look in a minute. I'm not happy with that one at all. These ones are all working fine. But that was the one that popped out, and it feels like it may be cross-threaded. If that's the case, we have to buy a new screw. I may have one knocking about. You never know what's in my parts box. Right, okay, so they're off. I don't like this one at all. It's not cross-threaded. I think it's just slightly bent at the end. Put it back in. Like that, I knew that was going to fall out. That's no problem. What's happening? Someone's not put this in square. Now it's gone in square because it's going in properly. There you go. Again, so let me show you how I set this. This is what I do. When I'm set up a Floyd Rose, you could even bang a business card under each side, then the double folded one if you want to. This is how I set it, and it works. We have one there, business card each side, making sure you can see the business card so you know where we are. Then a bent business card, bent in half. So you've got 3 layers of business card there now. Yeah. And all I'm going to do is, I'm going to bring this up here. I'm going to set that where it is. I'm just going to take that. Of course it's going to disappear. But that's how I do it. I was better off with just these ones now. How can that be a bad thing? And all we do is just reposition. And if you wanted more underneath, you could always go and stick another business card underneath if you wanted to. But that is not going to cause any damage to the body. There you go. And that screwdriver. 3 thicknesses of card between the body and the screwdriver. Perfect, not a problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check the frets. Because I've not checked anything on this guitar. I'm not going to straighten it. I'm just going to check the frets with Fret Rocker and see if any are out of whack. Not being paid to do any fret work or any cleaning work, any cosmetic work, any setup work. I'm just to restring it. That's a high fret there, look. That's high. High. High there. So I absolutely guarantee this needs a fret level. What I'm going to do with this is, they always have a high action at the nut anyway with Floyd Rose. I'm just going to set the action slightly higher at the bridge, and those high frets are not going to cause any problems. Frets down here are all perfect, down this end. Like I say, I'm not being paid for a setup, it's just a restring with Floyd Rose setup. Charging 30 quid. I normally charge an hour. My minimum rate is 1 hour. Or 1 hour. And my hourly rate is now £40. A friend of mine, Danny Lint, over at Leicester Luthiers, he says the same. He says, I never charge less than an hour of it. He says, if you're not to pay it, They don't want to pay it, that's fine, we can go somewhere else. He says, but you've got to make it worth your while. He's absolutely right. So there you go, so we've got some high frets down there, but we're going to totally ignore that. So, changing the strings. Better do it wrong way around on a lefty, because it's also, you're looking at, oh no, we don't, we do it right way around. It's because I'm upside down. I was thinking I'm upside down. What we're going to do is, I'm going to turn the guitar around again so you get the benefit of seeing the Floyd Rose setup. I'm going to pause the video here and restart again because I'm going to do this as a Floyd Rose setup, I think. So let me do that. I'll turn the guitar around and I'll bring you straight back in. How's that? Less than 30 seconds later and here we are. So okay, if you hear any whirring sound, that's my fan. My fan is on because it's hot in here. And in fact I'm going to grab a drink. What have I done with my water? My water's here. 2 litres of soda water a day. It was very nice, out of the fridge as well. That's good. So for those of you that have just tuned in, I'm going to show you how to set up Floyd Rose. So, strings are off. 2 pieces of card, one folded, one not. Business cards between the wood of the guitar top and the tremolo. I've got the screwdriver right under the tuners. So what we're going to do is set the tuners more or less in the middle. So that's all the way up. That's looking like about halfway. Set them all about halfway. What I'd like to do is screw them in 1, 2, 3 and a half. And that's enough. So bring these all up a bit. Bring them all up, screw the 2 outside ones in 3 and a half. Or thereabouts. That one is really, really tight. There you go. So 1, that's half. 1, 2, 3. Bring all the other ones to the height of that one. That's going to give us plenty of adjustment up and down on the tuners. That's brilliant. That's fine, I'm happy with that. Yeah, pretty good. And there you go. So we've got a screwdriver right under those tuners holding the tremolo in. Strings, where are we? Blah blah blah. So we've got those set where we want them. We've got the tremolo more or less level. It's actually leaning forward just a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to flip over. Right, I haven't even took the back plate off, look. So let's get the back plate off for starters. This one's just come in for a Floyd setup, so not checking the electrics or anything. I've just been paid to set up the Floyd, that's it. So that's what I'm doing. I know we dropped a screw inside there. No big deal, we'll fish that out in a minute. The reason I'm taking this back plate off is I'm going to check the screws are even. The screw's gone down there, look. Of course it has. Do I have a magnetic one? Probably not, but there you go, it's dropped right through now by the looks of that. So we're going to give it a shake and see if we can get it out. Can we get it out? No, we don't know where it's gone. Brilliant. We'll leave that in there then. We'll find that later on, I think. All I wanted to do was screw these in a little bit more. They're a bit uneven. I like them to be screwed in the same amount. We're going to over tighten the claw springs just a little, just so we're getting well enough pullback on that tremolo from the top. So there you go. So we've over tightened the claw springs. That'll become evident while we've done that shortly. Right, let's see if we can release that screw, because it's gone under here somewhere. Has it found out on the mat? I don't know. We'll find it. It's there, it's on the mat, look. It fell on the mat, that's brilliant. Right, that's the screws. Okay, so we've tightened the claw springs just a little. That is going to give us more pullback. We want that pullback because we need it to pull back more than actually it's meant to when it is set up. So we're going to get the strings again. We're going to do it proper. We're going to snip the ends off, snip the ball ends off. Right, we'd be better off doing the, just see where we are, so lefty, isn't it? Yeah, that's fine, that is the top string. I'm getting confused because it's a lefty. So we're here. Throws, you know, doing a lefty one. So make sure your string is all the way down in the slot so it's touching the bottom of the saddle hole or the block hole. And that one's in. Now the guy's problem was he wasn't tightening these enough and they were snapping. So, because I like to see wraps around poles, I'm going to go a couple of wraps around this. There's so many times people come in and saying, oh, the strings keep snapping. They're not snapping. You're not going to tighten enough on here. And I mean, don't go mental because you will strip them. But there you go, that's well in there and that's well tight and that's going nowhere. And that block doesn't seem to be sitting in straight. This is your problem with licensed tremolos. This is an LCD by Floyd Rose, isn't it? So again, this is not. It's been set up really badly, this guitar, because this string retainer at the back is set up wrong as well. Probably can't see it from where you are. Go in with that one. There you go, that's fine there, that's right. Next one. So make sure the string goes all the way down to the bottom. You'll feel it, it's giving you a good 8mm there. Get it in flush and square. Tighten as much as you can by hand. And get your Allen wrench in there, right size one. Don't go mental. It's tight. I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see where I am. I'm at the far side of the guitar. Get some wraps around. And all we're doing is, we're not tuning anything in yet, we're not getting into tension, we're just getting the strings on. Make sure we've got enough wraps on that, wraps around to hold, which they have. Bring that where you can see what I'm doing at the other end as well. Now this is really boring. I could just get these strings on and bring you back in shortly, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'll just show you one more because I can't express enough how important it is to get these strings at the locking end sat properly. When you're going in, make sure it's right down to the base, which it is there now. Now that is the dodgy screw, I think. Screws right in. That's it. Always make sure that that is all the way, the string's all the way in there. So that's it. We'll get the other strings on, and I'll bring you back in when I'm ready to stretch the strings in and set up the tremolo. Can't continue setting this tremolo up because I don't know what tuning he wants, and I've messaged him and he's not got back to me yet. So sort of ground to a halt. But what I am going to do in the meantime, I think he tunes down to, I don't know if it's a drop C. Don't remember now. Didn't really talk about it in depth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten these springs up more than they need to be again. So now I can drop it into any tuning. I can change that back later. So again, I'm going to set up my tremolo block. And that is just a little bit off straight. Now then, if I had a thinner, it'd be better if I had a thinner screwdriver, but I don't. So I could get this set dead level. I'm going to go there. So I can't do anything on this while I'm waiting. So I'm going to have to go and drop onto something else. And that's set there. That tremolo is just off level. I mean, I could set. I'm going to set it up in D standard. Sorry, E, just standard tuning. I'm going to check the intonation. So at least get the intonation close. I don't need him texting me 5 minutes before he's due to get it, saying he wants this tune and blah blah blah. It'll take me a while to get it done. I plugged into my rack tuner over there. It's a, forget what it is, DTR 100. Called DTR 100 Pro, I think. Strobe tuner, so it's very accurate. Put flat on the A. He's alright, just flat on the A really. So I just need to bring the A a bit further this way. So we need to change that over. Okay, that's fine. We need to bring the saddle of the A more towards the neck because we are a little bit flat. Just check the tuning first. Oh, hang on, we're on tune. That's it. The intonation's spot on when tuned to E. So I've got touch the intonation, so that's great. I'm just waiting for him to get back to me, and he's not got back to me yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop onto another job. And I'll come back to this one once I know what I'm doing. Ricky's been in touch, he wanted it tuned into D standard, so I have just stretched the strings in. And we're going to just check the tuning. a little bit flat, but we're going to need to be, because I should be setting this in the playing position. And it being left-handed, it's quite difficult when you're right-handed like me. So I'm just going to find a way to do that. Like I said, I've just stretched the strings in. We're going to lock everything down in a minute. First I need to check that the action is where I need it at the 12th fret. If not, we're going to have to alter the tremolo. So I'm just going to measure it from this side. 1.5mm on the treble side, which that is just slightly over. Sorry, on the bass. There's 1.5 on the treble side, which is what I want, and 1.75 on the bass side, which is what I want. So that is really good. So we're where we want to be there. So what I'm going to do now is stick the tuner back in, get everything set in the playing position, and we're going to lock these fine tuners. I have a bridge blocked, so when I remove a block, everything should go sharp. I'm not bothered about that. It's meant to. Just slowly bring everything to pitch. And that's everything where it needs to be. So we're going to lock down locking nuts at this end. The bass D will probably go a bit sharp. Everything else should be just about where it needs to be. Again, don't go mad with those, just get them close. Now we've still got the tremolo blocked off. We've got the guitar protected with business cards. And everything's a mile out, so I'm going to unlock those and re-lock them, because that shouldn't be that far out. Maybe I hadn't brought these up close enough before I lock them, so I'm just going to slightly, not loosen any great shakes, just take the edge off. The strings will still slip under, because I want this as close to tuner as possible, not tight, not slack. That's not going to work if I've got no volume on, is it? That's a little bit too tight. Yeah, that's already tight. That's why it's not altering. Can be fiddly things, these Floyds. There you go. Right, let's go again. We'll get somewhere close this time. I've never had trouble setting a proper license, or not a licensed one, a real Floyd Rose. So the licensed ones that tend to have problems. Let's see where we are here. Flat. So we're not too bad. So we're going to remove the block. from underneath. We're going to get as close as we can. I need a tremolo arm, got one here. Remove everything blocking the tremolo off. Everything should now go sharp, which it has, which is brilliant. Now we're going to let off the screws at the claw. And we're going to, once we drop the A string in to what we'll see as a G, we know where we need to be. So we're going to let these just undo these claw screws while the same amount each side. And we want that A string to drop into tune. We need to drop that down to a G, because don't forget we tune to D. So 2 half steps down. Fair way to go yet. I'm just undoing the claw screws by the same amount. So it's come out way more. Very close. Once that G drops in, the rest should drop with it. Well, G is just about there. The D is a little bit sharp. G is a little flat, so we'll alter on the tuners. On the fine tuners, should I say. Bring everything back on the fine tuners. And that's it. Right, now set up. So this one is all done, and it's an ESP LTD. Great looking thing. Look at that. It's just about ready to go. Bar I've not put on the back plate, I've just realised. But yeah, just came in, it just needed, the strings were popping or snapping at the bridge. They weren't snapping, they were popping out, and that's because they hadn't been setting the retainer correctly. Not tightened them up enough. And so they were just popping out. And so we banged them back in. We're not given a setup, we weren't asked to do a setup, we've not done a setup. Let's have a look here, make sure we're doing the right road. Stick the back plate back on. It's a nice simple job for me. Straight £30. I did check some of the frets, some of them are high. But like I say, that's to set the guitar up. It will play fine because you always have a high action at the knot on these Floyd Rose Quick guitars. It's something, it's kind of one of the trade-offs. So let's get these screwed in and we'll wrap it all up. What I can do while I'm screwing these in is let you know about my website. The best place to find out anything about me, for a friend, is Facebook. Facebook.com/NG17. That's Facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. Facebook.com/ sorry, yeah, Facebook.com/NG17 typed out. This one, nice easy one. And then now I'll be able to go to this home, go and play this and give that whammy bar some wham. A couple couple of things I'm going to do just as a matter of course that I always do with the guitar is I'm just going to check the strap pins are tight. And they were tight, but they still have a little bit more. There you go, and that's it. So this one is done. Don't know what model it is, got no idea. Could have a look at the back. It's upside down, just says designed by ESP, made in Indonesia. There you go, beautiful guitar. Tremolo is now set up. You could take this away and whammy that bar to his heart's content. So as always, till next time, boys and girls, God bless you, good to each other, and I'll see you in the next one.